There was this other question I remember. So what happens after they go through their phases and then they want to join university or college?
Okay.
Yeah, what happens?
In fact, to add to that question,
What another one you've been asked?
yes, so some myths about homeschooling. First, it's not a cult. It's not a cult.
Nice.
However, there are people who maybe, I don't know, but it's not a cult. It's just intentional parenting. Two, the other question I've been asked that I found so funny was, who rings the bell?
Oh my gosh, we've been conditioned so much that a bell must signify that class is over. Go to the next one.
Another one is exams,
Yeah.
which now ties into what you've asked.
True.
So for the resources that I use, we don't have exams. What I do is an assessment. So if we've finished a concept like addition, I'll have an assessment, which will be part of the resource, just to see, are there gaps?
Yeah.
And if there are gaps, I'm very glad to go back.
Okay.
Because the point is to understand,
True.
not to pass.
Finish.
Yeah, not to finish and
Yes.
not to pass an exam. And I have to keep reiterating that to my kids that imagine here, look, it means we have an issue. So maybe let's try another way to approach so that we can learn and then feel good that you've learned and understood something. And so the need for exams hasn't been there. What I'm appreciating is a need for record keeping, even for me, to be able to see at the end of the year, oh, we learned. Because it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day that you don't see the growth, that's happening. And what a lot of Kenyan homeschoolers have done when they get to going into university is you work backwards. Because you have the opportunity of being with your child every day. By the time they're 12, 13, 14, some, not all, may begin to know what their interest is. And so if one is into digital, I could ask George, can they come on an apprenticeship and they can have a day, working in his space, to confirm. And so then a lot of them do apprenticeships that help them know this is not what I want or this is what I really, really want. And then once you've zeroed in, then you work backwards and see, based on the universities, whether local or abroad, what's the entry requirement.
True.
A lot are okay with IGCSE, and all you have to do is register. So you go to British Council, or here now NEC, Kenya National Exam Council, also does registration for IGCSE.
Good to know.
And then at the end of the day, imagine physics is physics, whether you're taught by Mr. Kamau,
or your mom,
or Mr. Brighton, or your mom. Physics, science, math, English. So you just prepare the kid for the exam and they take it. We also have guys who've done KCSE as independent students,
yes.
And ACTs. And then a lot of universities are now more open. Locally too. In fact, I'd love for Kenyan homeschoolers to capture those stories because there'll be an encouragement.
That's true. Because it's a huge concern.
It is. And then a lot of the, well, mostly they've gone to Daystar. A couple have been to Nazarene, Catholic, and USIU. I think we have a few now at JKUAT and Nairobi University. But they have excelled.
Amazing.
And a lot of the ones I've talked to who've gone into university, their biggest complaint is these kids are not serious. Like, we've been given an assignment.
Oh my God.
They just want to play. Like, they're not coming to class.
What?
But it's because these kids,
they have learned.
They've been socialized.
There you go.
That when you have a project, you're here to do the project.
There's a time for everything.
Yes, there's a time for everything. Then we also have some who've just started businesses and they didn't bother going to school because they figured early they're either good with their hands or this is what they're interested in and they've gone straight into it.
Amazing.
So I think, and as the current generation of kids grow up, careers will be so different.
Very true. We're preparing, I don't know, the future looks very different from what we're used to now.
It really does. There's a lady who came to one of the homeschool conferences and she was saying her husband, she's South African, studied to be an astronomer, where his study of the stars would help ships navigate through the waters because then they'll know based on the constellation where they're headed. What? Then Google Maps appeared.
You kidding
So his whole career is irrelevant. He's no longer needed. And so the point was, now for our children, a lot of the mainstream career that we have now won't be relevant, because there's a lot of automation, innovation, and so we need kids who are thinkers. That's the other. So I said character, joy of learning, and for me it's problem solvers.
There you go.
Because Africa is full of so many problems.
That we have it in ourselves to actually do the solution.
Yes, to innovate and to solve. And so once those three goals are sorted, it doesn't matter. And I also tell my friends whose kids go to school, utilize the knowledge. So even if they're coming home with their homework, challenge them to think. Like, now that you know this, how is it relevant? How is it helpful?
How can you adapt it even in your day-to-day
Yes.
life?
Because then we have engineers who go to shags and there's no bridge.
I know. Then what's
or
the
a
point?
vet whose compound has dying animals. I mean,
we've not learned to be practical.
Or an architect with an ugly house.
Oh my god. Are these true stories? Hey,
They
you have
are.
many examples. But you've given me a lot to think about, because we learn just to pass exams, at least for our generation. So we need to do different for the next ones. Hey, Melissa, when is the book coming out? I think you have to write something or start your channel.
Probably.
You should.
Interesting you've asked that. For years I've been toying with, gosh, but it's premature to talk about it, but it's okay, with children's storybooks. So if there are any writers, this is a big need. Even to myself, yes. But you'll even see it as Taji grows. A lot of the good literature is not local.
True.
Whether it's fiction, whether it's fact.
Yep.
I'd love to get on the SGR and while there be given a little pamphlet that'll, take me on a tour of, now we're driving through, and this is where we're going. And these are the, just things that bring information to life. So I've been toying, and I'm in that process of thinking of content that I can write.
I hear you.
Just for, and I love that you guys, I just discovered today, have that channel.
We have the same desire, because we struggle with the same exact thinking, that we don't have content for kids. And even a thing that we're struggling with a lot is, even when we're trying to put, because we started an animation story, trying to animate stories that I'd written, we can't even find black kids. The software that's available online, as in I think we have to teach ourselves how to actually draw a black kid with a nice big afro.
That is so funny. That's what I'm doing. I'm like,
are you kidding me? There you go.
I've been, because that was my problem. So now I've been trying to draw. In fact, yesterday I drew, and then I asked my kids, does this look African? Or, because even my conditioning of drawing tends to have this long hair,
hair
and slim lips.
I get upset. You have no idea. It irks me. I have to say irks, because it irks me that I can. Like the last animation we did, George was only able to find kind of a brown skin, but she has blonde hair. I'm not blonde, but he couldn't find my afro kinkiness. So we have to be the solution. We have to be the solution to this lack of content. So I'm happy to hear that. Hey, we can collaborate. I'm excited to see.
Collabo.
So Melissa, let me hug you. Thank you so much for being on our channel. And
thank you.
Yes, thank you for featuring on Just the Mom. And thank you for sharing your story. And I know there'll be a lot of questions. Maybe we can, if you have any questions, just write it in the comments and we can continue with this conversation. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye. But as I say bye, let me pull a fast one on Karimi. No.
You're about to do it. Are you about to make me cry?
No, I won't make you cry. So. No. I just think this content is so needed. And like I told you before, I love that you call it Just a Mom. Yeah, because as moms, we just feel, I'm just. But I'm just, Melissa. But I'm just. But even in being just, there's something to give and to share. And just in all the years that I've known you, even in your writing and in your blog, I like the authenticity and the vulnerability. So, thanks. Thanks for inviting me to this space.
Thank you for encouraging me. Yay! Hey,
bye.
You've given me, you feel my love, it's my love language, affirmation.
Really?
Yes. So So bye. Why is George shaking his head?
George, you have an easy time. All you have to say is, baby, look good. Baby, sound good. She falls over.
And I'll be like, oh, yeah. Thank you. That was so much
interesting?
fun.
So do you know